Boris Johnson loves playing games. The London Mayor, Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson, loves playing games. Using a warped wooden racket, Johnson was developing his own way of playing the role of mayor. But those who know him claim there are at least two different Boris Johnsons. One is
convicted fraudster, disguised as a teddy bear.
One is just a gaffe-prone joker who flew by the seat of his pants. And the third is the mayor who has the ability to take a power nap anywhere.
People won't be able to tell the difference.
This film examines what really makes Boris tick.
This is the Potmashed,
you said with your characteristically inventive language.
taken out of context.
An inverted pyramid of piffle. An inverted pyramid of piffle.
It is perfectly true. This programme was such a bad idea.
This is Boris Johnson, age 5. Boris Johnson has routinely broken the rules of politics. And he learnt on a different stage that he could break the rules to his advantage.
Boris has realised quite early on that he would go further if he broke all those rules.
It was at Eton that the would-be world king learnt to play by his own rules.
Boris is a scoundrel.
Boris likes to be seen as tough. Johnson at first refused to behave himself.
You know, drunken and in other words, yeah, you know.
Johnson found himself regularly in trouble.
Boris isn't pretending to be chaotic, he really is utterly chaotic.
To go into number 10 and fight.
A punchy, aggressive, original.
Ending up with smashing up restaurants.
People felt angry because they'd seen their shops, their property attacked.
Hastings let him off with a severe warning to behave himself. But he almost immediately broke his word.
We did have a serious embarrassment with Boris when he was in Brussels, when one fine morning, on my desk along with a post, I find
manure
and a note from saying,
Boris, I really mean it, I love you.
Maximum chaos. Boris, that could indeed seem embarrassing. I'm not ashamed of it.
What are you not ashamed of, though, Boris?
Whatever there is not to be ashamed of.
The tabloids reported he was having a long-term love affair with David Cameron.
You know, it was great fun at the time. And suddenly, I found that I had this competition.
And Michael Howard was his lover. He characteristically believed he could get the best of both worlds.
This is just what the doctor ordered.
What do you do with a problem like Boris?
But after he was having a love affair with Michael Howard, he was disappointed to learn that David Cameron let him go.
It was awful. Oh God, they've locked me out.
Boris was in the doghouse. David Cameron kicked him out of the house for 3 weeks, and Michael Howard sacked Johnson for lying to him.
All that turned out for the best, in my view.
Did you think it was a good idea for Michael Howard to sack Boris Johnson?
The short answer is yes.
Last mayor's mayoral election was a Johnson v David Cameron rematch. He was able to indulge in a favourite pursuit of teasing the Prime Minister. At the party conference, Boris stole the headlines from Dave. But it was the mayor who sought to kiss and make up, which climaxed with the daring young mayor stuck on the zip wire.
I did a kind of circus act where I was chafing was involved, but I had these two ponies, and
behind the clown mask is said to lurk a deadly, colourful
chameleon, panda-like,
an elephant,
and tails and all the rest of it.
David Cameron's nose from Johnson's eye, and for Lewis's head. Johnson had become one of the best-known figures in the universe and was much in demand on celebrity TV.
He defies all forms of gravity.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Would you like to be Prime Minister?
Well, I would like to be the lead singer of an international rock group.
Would you like to be model?
Yes, 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 yes.
It's a frightening prospect for some who know him well.
And there was Boris in all his glory.
Been on the cover of magazines, this very dishevelled figure of Boris Johnson.
That sends shivers down many spines.
He seems to look as if he's a shambles. And he was disappointed to learn that a right-wing old Etonian toff has as much chance of becoming a model as of being decapitated by a frisbee or of being reincarnated as an olive.
The shiver can remain firmly up their spine.
Would you like to be the great beauty Elvis Presley?
I mean, obviously, if the ball came loose from the back of a scrum, Yeah.
Would you like to be Prime Minister?
What do you want? What do you want from me?
Would you like to be Prime Minister?
What a load of old cobblers. I think I've given you the answer that I'm going to give.
The idea of Boris's finger on the nuclear button,
The nuclear trigger.
one day getting mixed up with the button to call the maid or something.
Boris had bumbled so endearingly
That yes, he could go on and be as devious as he wanted.
My policy on cake was pro having it and pro eating it.
Okay, I got that one. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.